Hey Coast Crew fans, we are here at SeaWorld Orlando about to do a hard hat construction tour of the all-new for 2018 attraction Infinity Falls, a brand new raft ride with the world's tallest drop on a raft ride. So let's go check it out.
Gotta be safe with all the equipment.
My name is Jeff Hornick. I'm the Senior Director of Theme Park Development for SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, and welcome to Waterway Grill. This looks spectacular, doesn't it? With all the renovations in here, we know this is going to be the premier location for all of our guests to come and have a great meal and a drink after they've conquered Infinity Falls. So speaking of which, is everybody ready for a breakfast beer this morning? Yeah, that guy? Okay. So we are really excited to be able to give you a behind-the-scenes look about the construction for Infinity Falls. Now, this project started a few years ago when we were looking at our existing attraction mix. And we all know that SeaWorld has a world-class collection of roller coasters, but we took a look at our water rides. If you think about SeaWorld, right, you think about the ocean and the water story. So we wanted to be able to enhance our existing guest experience. If you went in the park right now, the only ways you'd be able to get wet would be on Journey to Atlantis, or maybe staying in the splash zones of the One Ocean show and get splashed by one of our orcas. So that's really where the idea behind Infinity Falls was born. So our team traveled the globe to take a look at all of the best river rapids experiences and take all of those little nuggets to be able to create Infinity Falls. We also took the latest hydraulic engineering technology to create a super dynamic ride experience. So our guests who are exploring Infinity Falls, we allow them the opportunity to be able to travel down a lost jungle river, be able to encounter whitewater rapids, be able to lift up in a vertical lift, and a record-setting drop. We are really excited about this opportunity because it is a family-friendly attraction as well, and it also gives us the unique aspect of being able to tell a freshwater story, a freshwater message for our guests, because at SeaWorld we're all great about talking about the ocean and conservation of the ocean, so we wanted to tell a little bit different story about rivers and streams and ecosystems that are so fragile, especially in the rainforest, to be able to tell that story and how important it is for our guests to be able to have conservation messages and learn about how they can take what they learn here at the parks home with them and abroad. So Infinity Falls is over a 5-minute adventure that families will be able to enjoy together. They'll be able to splash, have fun, and we know this is the best way for them to make a splash this summer. Without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Jock Williams. He'll tell you a little bit more about the stats of Infinity Falls.
Good morning. The ops team is super excited to be able to add this ride as part of our portfolio of in-park experiences here. We have, in this category, we have truly a family ride. And the family ride, by our standards, is we're able to have a 42 inches or below height requirement for our kids. So the whole family is able to enjoy this ride. We also have an ADA switchback, which allows our guests with disabilities to be able to load in and load out at their own pace. The base camp here, the load-in platform, truly inspires you and takes you through a unique experience to an Amazon base camp. At this base camp, we're going to load in 8 riders per raft through a journey every 26 seconds. The full journey of 5 minutes takes place, and it takes you through the experience of rapids and a couple surprises that we'll talk about and you'll see out here a little bit later. One of which, as Jeff mentioned, is a 30-foot incline that takes you straight up and a 40-foot drop. This 40-foot drop, as he mentioned, is the world's tallest. And we're really excited to present that. Janelle is going to give us a couple, Janelle is going to talk about this actual storyline behind Infinity Falls.
Hi, I'm so excited to be talking with you today about the story of Infinity Falls and the village that surrounds us. We have created a cast of characters that we call the SEA Collective. This is a group of scientists, adventurers, and explorers that are driven to make a difference in the world. They've been traveling remote areas of South America and have set up camp at a river that's clearly been celebrated and embellished throughout history. They've fallen in love with this river too, and have even added a few embellishments of their own in their free time. You'll see the hints of this SEA Collective footprint all throughout the site as we walk it today. With one of the main features that I love is our artistic entryway, where SeaWorld's animal ambassadors will provide guests up-close encounters with animals, some native to South America. After several months of work in the jungle, this team of the SEA Collective received 2 cargo containers of provisions helicoptered to their site. And they converted those containers into a new space for all to gather and called it the Whitewater Supply. You'll see some images of this. Of course, the team also needed a place to recharge and conduct some of their more delicate botanical studies, which is here in our Waterway Grill, and you see some of those up here. And to talk a little bit more about the culinary programming, I'll turn it over to Kyle.
Thank you. As Janelle said, the culinary team is really excited to open our Waterway Grill as part of the Infinity Falls attraction. So Waterway Grill features 2 key components. The first is a walk-up bar for our guests with 12 craft beers on tap, another 8 package, so looking at about 20 craft beers total. This actually brings our total in park of craft beers on tap each day to over 50, which is pretty remarkable when you think about the Flame Craft Bar and the other locations we have in the park. And then on the other end, we're opening 2 guest service meal facility lines where we're going to feature a South American inspired menu. And that menu is really anchored by 2 of our fan favorites from our 7 Seas Food Festival, the churrasco steak and the Sal Macao chicken salad. You can see some images of the food that we'll be offering in here. And then finally, going back to what Jeff mentioned on the water conservation side, a portion of some of the products both here in the culinary facility and our Whitewater Supply location for merchandise will be donated to the Everglades Foundation. So a great opportunity to talk more about the water conservation piece.
Along the main path, guests will see the thread of water protection, conservation, and replenishment messaging carry into 3 interactive games, which we are calling Play to Save the Water. And going into the attraction itself, finally, in the jungle-enveloped queue, the SEA Collective has established a modern, efficient campsite with a light footprint containing all the equipment they need to live and conduct their research. It ends at the station, where the modern engineering details and bright colors contrast with the ancient, natural, and embellished rockwork features. The first scene of the ride, coming out of the station, takes us into our beautiful new Caribbean flamingo habitat. Here, 16 to 25 flamingos, all of which were hatched here at SeaWorld, ranging in ages from 1 to 7-year-old. This will be our first stop on the attraction, as well as our first stop when we go out to the site to walk around. Also there at that stop, you'll see a great view of the feature we call the Portal. This is the first entry into the ride and where the action will really start to pick up as we enter the first section of world-class rapids. That stretch of rapids ends at Cayman Crossing, where a striking pair of Cayman-inspired rockwork is set against the bridge from the main guest path, followed by a jump down into the serene section of the ride, Prism Falls, a beautiful rockwork formation featuring 3 cascading waterfalls. You'll be able to see great views of these from the bridge and our 3rd stop on the site tour. The rides continue up the inclined conveyor lift, flanked on either side by a series of sculptures containing water features that will shoot into the air and across the ride path. That lift drops you into the most exciting and thrilling stretch of rapids on the ride, and culminates in the most thrilling feature of the ride, the vertical lift, of course, which will feature a cascading waterfall directly besides which guests will quickly be lifted into the air. And our second stop on the tour will feature this scene. You'll be able to see it firsthand. Then, of course, from the top, we are dropped 40 feet, the tallest drop in the world for a river rapids ride, splashing down guests safely into the station where they return.
Everyone wants to congregate this way, I can point out some of the... All right, does everyone hear me pretty well? Welcome to our first stop on our construction tour. Tent structures popping overhead, so we also have some of the props over there, and that's really where our story begins. That's our base camp. So that's the platform right here. Yep. Waterway Grill facility. It's going to be very popular, obviously, because it's got not only a great menu, but air conditioning. Premium. The entry to the ride itself is that is main entry ID. We've got water flowing in. You can see there's a little bit of influence of that island, and it is actually an island that we created over there because the ride circles the entire Houston. That large bike is the messaging for the explorers.